Hello and welcome back to part 6 in Slices, batch 2. I'm Sam.
And I'm Jim.
And we're back after, a year of the waiting room for second batch of Stone Ocean where
September? Was it September?
It may have been a year.
I thought it... When did the first batch of Stone Ocean come out?
It was almost like yesterday we have all... the hype has been nothing.
One of the last episodes we put out was 8 months ago in December. So yeah, it did come out December. Okay. It was early December, I believe.
Okay.
So technically not a full year, but 8 months.
No hype. There was no like advertisement by Netflix of anything.
Infamously not really promoted by Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I wasn't really looking forward to this batch because I really don't like the maximum security arc. It's probably one of my least favorite JoJo like arcs.
There's one exception for me.
Well, for Jim, yeah.
But I also do not like this arc very much.
Yes.
Infamously, Stone Ocean, not one of my favorite parts.
Same.
Also, infamously, this arc I think is potentially the worst section in JoJo. I would say, if I had to pick like a worst section in JoJo,
if you didn't include that security, what would you pick?
The end of part 8.
I was gonna say the same thing. That's more disappointment than just bad bites, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick out any particular section of like parts 1 and 2. Maybe I don't know. Even in part 3, I feel like it ranges from like a fight I don't care about to, oh, this is a good one. But like, it's never like back-to-back 3 fights I don't like.
At least in part 3, yeah, it ranges and it's done quicker than it is. And you don't have to wrap your brain around some of the stands that we get in this. Even going on, this is definitely like a point in Iraqi where he's just like going balls to the wall with stand ideas where, like, you know, they have rules, but they're very overly complicated with a lot of the rules or concepts.
It's like the classic kind of like power creep or like stand creep where he's making stands that are so insanely complicated that when he goes into part 7, everything gets scaled back into way more simple.
Yes.
But it's simple, but it's like the implications of the simplicity make the stands scarier and more interesting.
I'm thinking the most complicated thing when we get to the D4C, where like it is a little bit complicated, but it's not overly complicated, where you can understand the rules and what it does.
Yeah, even getting to like Love Train, like you can still comprehend what Love Train is when you just think about it as like something that diverts fortune.
And I think probably technically touch, but that's like, you know, axe stands, and axe stands tend to have a different like bullshit.
From the story, it makes sense to give the main character a like complex growing stand with multiple abilities. Like, I think that's totally fine. But when we have these one-off fights, and then Limp Bizkit has, we're covering episodes 1 and 2.
Yes.
What are they?
It is it's called The Kiss of Love and Revenge, Part 1 and 2.
Okay, so these are episodes 13 and 14.
Yes. Correct.
All right, but so we're talking about Limp Bizkit. Like, Limp Bizkit's stand is like, Flaccid Pancake.
It should be Flaccid Pancake. The goddamn cowards. They went with Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit.
I just haven't had a perfectly good, funny one, which I'm worried about. Filthy Acts done at a reasonable price is going to get changed as well.
I do want to just say there is kind of from a lot of aspects, there feels like, I don't want to say half-assed, but there's a lot of elements with the second part, and Limp Bizkit being like a small but noticeable change. So that is just upsetting to me.
So as I said many times, Hermes is the character like kind of special to me because that's the character when I first got into JoJo, which was over my friend's house playing All-Star Battle. It was literally the first character I picked and really liked, and I was like, I love this character. I can't wait to see all the cool shit she does. And she is like has the polar syndrome where she just out of nowhere will just get her revenge and arc of like her entire character, and just then way too soon, or like I think I always mention this when I talk about part 6, where like it should have been trickled in there of like, you know, her becoming friends with Jolene more, opening up about like teasing it slowly, then get into this. Like, I guess
Polnareff does do that.
Yes,
like Polnareff actually does at least
state his character background.
Yeah, it does. That is something that is like important to his backstory.
Yes. And he give a hint like, oh, I'm looking for a man with 2 left hands.
Yeah. Just like in The Princess Bride.
Yes, sure.
Except not really. It's just the same idea.
But Hermes is just like this. Is it literally like we get that weird flash forward with Jolene and Max Security, then just like we kind of like, oh yeah, Hermes is looking for the man that killed her sister, and she's hell bent on getting it now instead of any other time.
Yeah.
And I feel like, man, she really should have just like, even like the anime only could have been like trickled in a little bit, like. They
Yeah.
did, especially compared to Part 5. Like they trickled in like anime original stuff very well.
I've complained about this before, and people, whatever, they don't think about things this way. But
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest problems with these JoJo adaptations is that they just slavishly follow the exact like order of events.
Yeah, but
Like,
I mean,
sometimes they'll change.
Part
Like
4 did that. I mean, Part
which
5
is like a very
yeah.
like recognized change that was very positively received.
Part 5 we got like the whole Hitman team,
That was also one of like
which is awesome.
like an incredibly big change. I know there have been like sporadic changes to Stone Ocean.
Yeah.
Some of them have been, I think, for the detriment of the story.
Yeah.
I can't point to any in particular, but they're like small little details.
Yeah, I think the only Hermes like it gives background stuff is like, oh yeah, she got caught on purpose for some reason.
But so just going into like the point that I wanted to make was, I just think it is weird to just copy like panel for panel all these fights. Take the idea, take the fight,
Yeah.
rearrange what needs to be done, reinterpret the scenes.
Yeah. And
As you said, like add more of the backstory early on. Like
Yeah.
same, it's exactly what they did with the execution team. Like they brought all that stuff like way earlier.
I think when we did our first batch of episodes, what did we like the most was the the jail stuff and the character interactions that are not in the stand fight of them just being, I don't know, friends. As the weird way, like seeing what's it called, like Gwes hang out with them.
I loved those scenes. And that's like I think ultimately a thing with JoJo that I like. I love the parts outside of the fights, and sometimes the fights can be a little too like constrained in the way that they are most of what JoJo is.
And this fight's weird because it's all like invisible zombie that you only see via blood or like the weird like see-through visuals. And I was like, okay, maybe this can be like Notorious B.I.G. where like they improve the manga by having it be like it you know resolves on movement, and you can do that better in animation than with manga, and it worked awesome. That's one of my favorites like animated fights in Part 5.
It looked really good, and it as we said, like it was just an improvement to the manga, which is rare. I will rarely say that about the JoJo adaptation.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of standing around, like it would be like staring at a manga panel of them like saying stuff,
and it was conveyed very well. Whereas I would say like, just conceptually, the invisible zombies of Limp Bizkit are hard to convey, literally hard to convey visually, and they don't really do too greatly in the first half.
What when you read it, what was your thought about Limp Bizkit? Did you like not like it that much?
It just seemed really random and silly, like in a way that JoJo normally doesn't do silliness. Like it seemed to me like I didn't understand. It's like the classic. What were they smoking with this one?
I think I like the name more than the stand itself because like I've been mentioned plenty of times, but Limp Bizkit has a very high tie in wrestling. We're growing up to like a wrestler came out to Roland and had Fred Durst play his entrance before. Fred Durst was in a character to get Roland into a wrestling video game. He was asked, my only payment is to be a character in the game. So Fred Durst was a character in a wrestling game. I've used a lot because it's hilarious.
I also. One thing I heard recently, Fred Durst was in the official Fight Club video game.
Yes, he's also in the Fight Club video game along with Abraham Lincoln.
Which I did not even know one of those existed until like a week ago.
Oh, yeah. But also, yeah. So I was like, oh, yeah, there could be some cool, like, what are those videos where people, like, put the fight to the actual like a song by them?
Oh, the leitmotif videos.
Yes,
yeah.
I see a good one to like
Roland.
My Way or like no, My Way is the best Limp Bizkit song. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
What's the one that he made Limp Wicked out of? Neil Citriga did for Limp Wicked.
Nookie.
That was Nookie. Okay,
yes.
That is a bad song, but it's great when the Chewbacca sings it.
Is Limp Bizkit a good band? No, but do they have some good jams? Yes. Is Fred Durst a fucking stand user now? Yes, absolutely.
But so I just think like I conceptually maybe in a manga it works better because the whole idea it's like you're trying to figure out what is attacking you.
Yeah, his stand is very weird of activation and this like what it
and like
the rules of his stand are very weird.
One of the problems too is I think the mysteries immediately like figured out because at first you're supposed to be like what is attacking Hermes, but they make it explicitly clear that it's a bird like within seconds because you hear
it's pecking me.
Yeah, you hear like the flapping sound. So the mystery element's kind of gone. It's more just about like, okay, why is it like this?
And I think it's like a trivia that is based off the movie Hollow Man, if you ever seen it.
Yes, actually I have like vivid memories of watching that as a child because I thought it was gross. Are you familiar with
Yes.
Hollow Man?
Yeah.
So
It's a gross Invisible Man story.
yeah, dear audience out there, they do an Invisible Man thing, but they inject you with a drug, and the drug like turns parts of your body invisible.
You can see like the organs.
Yeah,
and
so
everything.
first it starts with your skin, so you see all the muscle, then the muscles go away, so you see like the organs and veins, and then they go away until it's just like the brain. But and it's horrible CG now. If you look it up now, it's horrible. But as a child, that was deeply imprinted. I must have been like maybe 7 or 8 when I saw that movie on TV, and it like imprinted deeply. So interesting. I guess I could see the inspiration, but
yeah,
the fact that they're zombies. Why can't he just control them? Why does it have to be zombies?
it's not like it's literally brain eating zombies.
It is
like
literally brain eating zombies for no reason. I don't understand.
I was talking about like every part seems to have like a zombie thing. Like, you know, part 1 obviously
It has
just
several like just definitional zombies.
like part 2 had like the vampires, but they're all fucking like savage, like the weird like when the arena happens, where they're just like random jobber vampire things. Part 3 has Enya, essentially has zombies.
There are zombies in that.
I'm trying to think of part 4 have
Oh,
zombies.
wait, are they zombies or are they just weird Egyptians?
Fucking I don't.
Well, they're
No,
not
no,
Egyptians.
the whole Middle Eastern
they were like
village
Bangladeshi
gets
or
turned into
something.
zombies by Enya.
That's true.
Like literal corpses, like the baby is a literal fucking corpse. And then
That's right.
I'm not sure about part 4. Does part 4 have?
Yeah. Well,
Angel gets turned to a rock.
not a zombie, but what's the Highway Star is kind of like a
Yeah,
undead thing, right? Isn't that?
not really. He's using it. He's just using it remotely.
Okay, I guess so. He sucks it up.
But like, yeah, I said, like, you know, we have Limp Bizkit. I said, Scary Monsters is pretty much a zombie. Part 8, Blue Hawaii makes zombies.
You didn't say part 5, Bruno?
Bruno is technically a zombie.
Bruno's is like hashtag zombified. He's a more unconventional zombie.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, but this is like literally like, okay, yeah, they just eat brains.
Yeah, I think it is, as I said, it's just too much. It's like, if it was to just make animals invisible and he can control them, even that is a lot, but that would have been like, why are they zombies? It's just,
I don't know.
I remember like when I was reading it initially, I just was like, why are they zombies? That's all I can say.
This is a stand that Poochie put into his brain. Like I've had this weird convoluted stand I just took out as a random jobber and like this that I found along the way.
It really feels like I wish they would have made this a plot element. You know how like you used to burn CDs back in the day? This should have been like Poochie
Poochie
burned
on like weird like big bulky PC.
Yeah.
He's just like burning it. Like I got a good one. He's online.
He makes a mix.
So he's on LimeWire. Download like limpbiscuit.mp3 and it's just like, oh yeah, I downloaded this great album called the Choco Starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Yeah.
And it just turned out to be like Limp Bizkit stay like zombies. Like it's like Day of the Dead like.
To me, it feels like when you would burn a CD and it wouldn't burn properly and it would skip. That's what Limp Bizkit feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like it's too many things going on. I don't understand how Hermes' power works in this at all. It might be the most inconsistent we've ever seen a stand.
Yeah, but the other one thing, because we get the flash forward of the massive security, and like I have like a wiki just to keep me like remember the plot point. But this is all someone just really want to detail like Julene discovers the bleak dark cell she's in, and just like she's thrown on the floor landing on a squat toilet. What's important about her landing on a squat toilet? Wiki.
That is an extremely specific detail.
But like the one thing I was like. Someone throws like shit. There's a bunch of all like sexy, horny, fucking inmates. Like, there's a girl in here.
They do immediately want to fuck
but
Jolene.
Someone makes the most impossible throw of throwing poop, and you get a layout of this circular cell layout, and like, you have to throw it through bars. It's literally impossible.
So he couldn't have been next to her because we see that they have like these dividers. So he would have had to have been like. I need at least 10 doors down from her or across the way.
This is like it's literally like they need like the grass. Someone's on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, literally.
Back and to the left.
Yeah, John Wilkes Booth is actually
John Wilkes Booth.
He's actually in this.
Yeah, John Wilkes Booth is on the grassy knoll, and not Lee Harvey Oswald. Back and to the left.
I wish they didn't all have 3 names. That just confuses my dyslexia.
Isn't the guy who shot Jen also had 3 names?
Well, maybe. I don't know what his name is. But generally people use that so that if your name is Lee Oswald, people won't think that you're the guy that killed Abraham Dinkler.
Who shot...
Abradolf Linkler.
No, John Abraham Linkler. But yeah, but also, we got the flashback with like Trey... We got the opposite of FF being one of the opposite
Oh
of
yeah, we didn't even talk about that. So yeah, basically just giving FF some character, which was appreciated, I guess.
I type in who shot John. The first thing that comes up is Johnny Joestar.
That's very funny. Yeah, we get a little character for FF. Her whole thing is like, I want to be the opposite of a Tro.
So who shot? It was Mark David Chapman was the guy who shot John Lennon.
Mark David Chapman.
So if you go Mark Demon Chapman. So apparently, if you just go by 3 names, you're just gonna end up shooting somebody.
Well, I think it's a retroactive thing. Like,
Probably.
I think it's like if it were you, if you killed someone, they would say Samuel Derek Gregson. Even though you only go by Samuel Gregson, that's your
you
confirmed name.
Genshin.
Samuel Genshin.
Close enough. Legit. But yeah, no. Like,
we get like FF. We get some character for her. She literally the whole discussion of opposites. Like, what is the opposite of pork?
The opposite of pork is salmon, obviously. But it's just like
I always had a really pedantic view on these things. Like, to me, the opposite of pork would be not pork. That's what I would say. So technically, anything that's not pork would be not pork.
The opposite of salmon going upstream is
fish going down, or pork
going down into the mud.
Yeah, pigs going down into the mud stream.
Yeah, you also got a little bit of Poochie as well with Dio. We actually see
we do see that shot.
Where you said they fixed because they did the color version, had it in the daytime.
Yes, so that was one of the biggest like Araki forgot moments, which actually Araki had nothing to do with.
No, the color team forgot.
Yeah, in the color version of JoJo, they would show that the scene. You can see that the outside is painted bright blue as if it was daytime, despite the fact that Dio actually is a vampire and he would not be able to be in the light. But they fixed that. It's
fine. He in his weird little mansion, his little like I don't know, but his estate, his villa.
I was really curious about that because like
was it Poochie's villa?
We do see later where Poochie meets where he meets him, and it's in like a church. I think that's when we see one of the bones too.
Also, I love the church or the prison has a mausoleum.
It is very
the church
funny.
Mausoleum.
I mean, I know like in cities like New Orleans, they do have like different. I believe they have mausoleums, right? Do you know how they like bury the dead in New Orleans?
No. I think I do. Yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of it. Ironically, in a Tony Hawk Underground game where you go in New Orleans and skate around to the outside graveyard.
That's really funny.
And you have to skate around a couple things to summon the souls from the dead to come out in New Orleans.
Well, due to the fact due to the fact that in New Orleans they have they're very below sea level.
Yes.
So the fear is if there's ever flooding, the
bodies would
rise. So they have like big cement mausoleums built that are actually, I don't know if they're like family based or communal, but what they do is that they put the remains in and then they seal it up, and then when they open it again, when they have to add more remains, they just push with like sticks, I guess, the dried up remains of the former people. So they're just kind of compacting corpses in these mausoleums.
This is why we cremate so much now. Don't have to worry about bodies floating up from a flood or a hurricane.
I believe we should cremate a lot more. It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
We should cremate like once people. It's like that movie Just in Time. Once you hit like 25, they should cremate you. Just
burn you up. Also, we get man, people really went into details of this fucking wiki because they even go into detail about the contrast of pork being the opposite of salmon.
Sam, we're talking about JoJo fans.
I know. But we also FF talks about like her plankton like can just fill up the wounds and then the body would have to do the rest.
Which is just literally shown to not
bullshit.
Be true.
Yeah, because Hermes literally gets her finger reattached in the scenes to be perfect.
Within a split second, FF's able to reattach the finger.
Healers are vastly inconsistent in JoJo.
It's funny that he even cares to include them sometimes, because other parts, like in part 3, the characters will just get like life-threatening wounds and just be fine in the next page.
I'm pretty sure. I feel like
I can suspend my disbelief that much, Araki. You don't need to make Plankton heal.
I feel Mamazuku is like the only character I feel that actually consistently has like the damage of him being fucked up and like he like winds himself back up from like, but at least like he has.
It's funny. It is funny that him losing a few fingers is more
consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent, but also more detrimental than his whole body unraveling.
Yes,
like, that he can come back from that. But
unraveling gets sliced up, that's what fucks him up more than like unraveling. Yeah. It's really funny to think about.
Oh, Kakyoin though, his funny little eye wound.
they weren't that deep. Even though his eye got sliced, it didn't go deep enough. Or the bullet for Abdul didn't hit the skull.
I forgot it hit the skull.
Hey, what the called? The Speedwagon Foundation can do is a miracle. We've seen as Jotaro's in like the Super Saiyan tube.
It's true. He's got the back
the submarine tube.
The hyperbolic back to chamber.
But and then it was nice seeing because where's Hermes? And then like yeah, she's having her arc. And I do love them going to Gwess. I love seeing Gwess. We should always be more Gwess.
It's insane that Gwess is not in every scene of the show.
We love Gwess. She should be. She could figure out. I just love that one fan art of them in the underground arc, and it's literally like them getting past because they brought Gwess along and shrinking them all. It's like the funniest resolution to that arc of how easy it would be done if it had Gwess.
Just jump right in that one seat.
Just everybody just gets into the seat or just inside like the person in there as well.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
It's gonna be really weird, but we'll get there when we get there. It's at the end and we talk about how we feel going forward. But yeah, we get the backstory. We get Gloria, who honestly, it's very weird because what's it called? Hermes is supposed to be Mexican American. I think that's what it's officially, or like
I don't think it actually is officially confirmed.
Or yeah,
I believe it should be so. But I've also heard like headcanons of people that believe she's like Afro-Latina, like black, half black, half Hispanic.
Because I was trying to look up anything. Cause, I don't think her and sister are. Because her sister is like white as hell.
Her sister's incredibly white.
She's token white woman with blonde hair.
Literally blonde hair, blue eyes, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. So like I was like, and they're 10 years apart. Like does that mean they're adopted, or they just call her a big sister just because that's who
It's like a pick me up on the streets kind of thing, but no.
They say it's a sister.
It is supposed to be a biological sister. We even see Papa Costello crying at the funeral.
Yeah. Who owned? Yeah. So they worked at like a restaurant and everything, and.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, I also didn't like how we talked about this. Like, I didn't like how they lightened Hermes' skin, from the like. I don't know, like, what is like.
The child version of her?
No. I'm just talking in general. Like back in even the first batch, I thought like Hermes' skin feels a lot lighter than it actually was in the manga, or at least in the color.
I guess so. Yeah, but she looked more. I got more of like the Spanish. Like going for a Spanish American than Afro Latino, but hey, I don't have the color skin graph on me, Jim. I'm sorry to
like
compare
the
it.
Family Guy.
Yes, the Family Guy joke, but
Pig de Griffin.
Peter, yes, I'm not gonna try to do a Peter Griffin impression, but no, Foo Fighters.
That sucks.
There's gonna be an edit of like.
There must be an edit of Peter Griffin as Foo Fighters,
or just any of the characters. There's probably one of him dressed. I just seen the one of him dressed up as Jotaro, but like, part 6, JoJo Part 6 is Family Guy. But what's it called? Yeah, we get like backstory. Hermes is like fucking stalking Sports Maximum, as he's calling this dub as well. Which I guess the fashion lines can't be called. I guess that's also a censor thing. But
yeah,
Gwess is
certainly
because Gwess is a variation of Guess, so I guess that's fine. But what's it called? Hermes is just like, I'm gonna kill this fucker, and we get the flashback of like Hermes like, I'm going to go track and field and go to college. Fuck this restaurant. And she runs off, and her sister sees Sports Max kill a guy in there, and that's what she calls the police. He only gets 5 years, and then gets her killed or something in the alleyway. Yeah. And yeah, that's her backstory. That's why she knows that he killed her. It's very, very, very sad. But I said, I wish there was more like lead up to it though. But
yeah, it just feels all rushed. I feel like it's poorly conveyed too. I didn't realize that she died when she died. Holly, whatever her name is. Gloria. Just
Holly.
See a white woman.
White blonde-haired woman.
It must be Holly
some
Joestar.
busty blonde-haired woman. And her father also died of heartbreak, I guess, as well.
Yeah. But whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to talk too much about this.
But yeah, that's when she basically kills him in the. I like the way she kills him. I think it's very awesome. But like, I can see the way her ability works can just be like, yeah, whatever. But like, I love the way she traps him in a pipe and drowns him. I think that's very fucking cool. I love that.
It's cool. It's just, as I said, it's kind of confusing. How so Hermes' power is that when she puts her sticker on something, it makes two of them.
Yes.
And then when she removes it, they slide back together.
They smack into each other.
They smack as like a kiss. But they mention it they mention a detail where it actually creates like a sort of impact,
like a friction
crack.
impact.
So she somehow is able to like slowly have the pipe form around him, which feels like something that like part 4 Josuke would do. It feels like we're seeing like that ability.
He would punch a hole into something, throw someone in there, then repair it.
Yeah, that's what it feels like is happening here.
Or punch them alongside the pipe to like reform it into it.
Yeah, because like
he did with Angelo.
And then she puts another sticker on the pipe, and it like perfectly, like the pipe is fixed. It's like perfect. I don't understand what's happening here. I don't care to. After this moment, I think the fight totally is fine. Like the way they use her power totally makes sense.
Yeah,
it was just this moment that I had no idea what was happening.
It just works.
Yeah, I guess so.
It works the way it needs it to work. But yeah, and that's when we get the bird, the Limp Bizkit's going off and everything. We get the name drop of Limp Bizkit. It's so stupid. Like, just call it Flaccid Pancake, or just like Limp Bizkit is so weird. I guess it's like, oh, it's just close enough that they'll see it. They'll know, like, they won't know the difference when they say it in the Japanese language.
It's very much like an Essie Desi moment where they just like change it so that it sounds almost like it when you say it quickly.
Yeah, it's
which is whatever. I don't really have an opinion. No, I do have a strong opinion. It should have been Limp Bizkit, or should have been Flaccid Pancake.
Yeah, it was right there. The fans love that name.
Fans love it. I remember I had a JoJo trivia event once. I answered immediately because I knew the answer of what the localized stand was. Flaccid Pancake, and the guy called me a nerd. I was like, sir, you're a
JoJo fan.
My brother in Christ, you were hosting the JoJo trivia tournament.
And that's like common knowledge, you fucking idiot.
But that was funny. But yeah, okay. I wanted to launch into my let's call it Death by 1,000 Cuts. So JoJo, the anime, extremely hyped. Fans love it. They'll love it even if it's garbage. They love it even if they
love the good, the bad, and the ugly. They'll just eat up everything. Yeah. Which I'm assuming once we get to Dragon's Dream in its career arc, we'll see all that copium of like, oh, it actually was good the entire time.
They redeemed. Oh my god, Netflix redeemed Dragon's Dream, guys. Or sorry, Drake's Dream. Drake Bell's Dream. So all right,
Bell's Dream.
Already we're only 2 episodes into the season. Very disappointed at the lack of a new opening.
Yes.
Not only is the song the same, the visuals are 99% the same.
Yes, it's just one thing of Jolene hugging just the back of Jotaro
at the very end, which I would 100% guarantee that what are they called? Kamikaze Doga, the people that do that 3D animation. I guarantee they did that when they originally made it, and they were like, "All right, yeah, and we'll staple this on if we need to add more."
When you do the add sound effects. That is a finale to the OP or the art,
and to which we will never see this OP again.
Yeah,
it's not just the last episode.
So this is just gonna be this is gonna be used for the end unless he literally do it for the last arc, and I'm like, so disappointing.
It just it just shows a lack of like appeasing the fans.
Yeah,
and like a lack of understanding of how important these things are to the ravenous JoJo mind.
Yeah.
And then I'll even say doubly so, having the ED be the same.
Like, not even like...
is bad. It's like, not even updated.
I'm like, you can keep the song, but like, you can have a thing where you add... Like you did with Part 5, where you had the thing where you added like more to it with Modern Crusaders, or...
You could tell with
that... Or I Want You for Savage Garden added stuff too. Like, but even like the Part 3 like ones had like, okay, they showed the characters and like they don't have to add more characters to that. It's just but they don't even show any of our characters that we have in this.
Yeah, but like with the Part 5 freaking you could tell that they wanted to do more with it. Yes. That's why they
feel like a placeholder to
the
next one.
I mean, the ending of what is it called? Dreamin', California Dreamin'.
It's gonna be. I think it's just called Dreamin'.
Dreamin' by Duffy. The end of the Part 6 CD is gorgeously animated.
Distant Dreamer. It is gorgeous. It looks amazing. Yes. I'm not saying that it's finished or it needs to be updated in like this feels like a placeholder way, but in like the conventions of the JoJo anime,
I am very confused as to why it has not been changed or updated.
You had a goddamn year too.
It's very strange. Also, not even to get into the whole rollout of Part 6, like having to wait 8 months between sections. I don't understand why. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, because Netflix likes to pretend like they do yearly releases. They did this with Cuphead. They do this with most of their animated series. They produce all of it at once. We don't know for sure what's happening at David Production, but they produce for like their American series, the like non-anime shows. They have everything produced at one time, and then they will split it in half and say, okay, here's season 1, and then a year later, here's season 2. Or even more confusingly with Voltron, they would release like every 6 episodes. Or every 6 months they drop like a new batch of episodes, which is even weirder.
Yeah,
but it's just I don't.
Netflix bad.
Netflix, yeah, they're kind of bad. I think that it's by no coincidence that there's all these like negative changes to JoJo from this agreement.
Yeah.
I really do think that it's like a substantial change. Because if anything, David Production has gotten better as a studio since the last JoJo part was animated.
Yeah.
There's a lot of brain drain from what's the really good studio? Shaft. There's a lot of brain drain from Shaft. They left because of working conditions to David Production.
Yeah.
And who knows what the teams are like, but
and like even like looking back at like some of the David Productions from JoJo, like they a lot of stuff like look very good. Like it's different styles for everything. Like Part 4,
Part 4 looks amazing. Part 4 is an incredible looking adaptation.
Part 5 has some really good and like stuff that like there's some stuff that like, they improved from the manga, and I think I love that from a story point. They did a great job there. And then this one, I don't know.
I would say the final cut of this Death of a Thousand Cuts to me is that one texture that they use.
Jim is bothered by this texture.
Every wall. It is when you're copy pasting textures like this, you cannot have something so intricately designed. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
Jim has this one little thing. He's gonna make this texture the thumbnail for this episode.
I fucking will. I'm gonna start adding it just in random places.
Make that the font texture for this.
But it's like this weird like line. It's kind of like a swirly like thatched line. They just throw it on like random shit. They'll throw it on like stone. They'll throw it on the ground sometimes.
Yeah.
If I see it on a person, I'm gonna fucking scream because does not belong.
Oh no!
It just shows they're throwing shit. They're just grabbing PNGs.
Give Yo-Yo Ma that texture.
I'll scream. If anyone, they would probably do it to us like his overalls or something.
His little helmet.
You mean his head?
Yes. Head mitt.
Oh, okay. If only he came sooner. I hate that he's like the very end of this batch.
Deserves nothing. But what's it called? So we get the little Limp Bizkit, we get the bird, we see like Hermes' jugular comes out, the vein.
Immediately triggering me. That makes me so uncomfortable.
Because like Dio does that, and like he said in
Part 1, yeah.
Where he like just holds it.
He's holding Jonathan's jugular, like twisting it in his fingers. It like legitimately makes me like sick to my stomach.
Yeah, we get some ways around it. She kills the bird, and the weakness is just to shoot the body.
Yeah, Hermes has a lot of really great moments in this little fight.
She duplicates her vest to get off of like the alligator. This just get chunks bitten off of everybody.
Yeah, it's a very brutal fight.
Like
Hermes
loses a finger.
She duplicates her vest to like catch the bird and then punches the bird in the sack, which is really funny. But it's really smart. And then like the alligator comes out, and that's like a real big threat. It totally eats Foo Fighters' leg. It fucks Jolene up. Okay, another thing that's just like a dumb detail about the stand. Jolene tries to like set up traps on the floor to like track where it is with her string, but because it's actually a dead ghost zombie, it can walk on the walls because the dead don't have a concept of up and down.
Yes.
So why doesn't it just float? Why isn't it just like a ghost then?
Dumb alligator.
Dumb alligator can't even float.
The Florida alligator just wants to be a chunky boy on the ground.
Yeah.
But also, it just takes bites out of everybody and everything. Like, Foo Fighters loses a leg.
Also, yeah, it's just, I don't want to harp on, like, every detail, but I do like the idea of an invisible alligator. That is terrifying.
Oh, yeah. Invisible zombies is just, like, it's an interesting concept, but it's still, like, visually, like, it gets blood splashed on it, but it's not like they, like, oh, let's throw flour on the invisible thing so we can keep...
Flour.
That's the thing. You throw flour, throw blood on it. Blood's, like, the most common trope of like, invisible enemies. They don't really do it. You get one quick glance at it, and Jolene does, like, the Kakyoin strat of just making, like strings everywhere, so when things snap, there was no... Not as broken as Kakyoin, but she doesn't really have a limit on her string, and I felt like if her string broke, she took damage sometimes.
Yeah, she's fine. There's a lot of string breakage in this one, and she's just fine.
Yeah. Even the whole part where like the whole like thing comes at Hermes, it just all snaps like crazy. But yeah,
Just like to go through it really quickly.
they want to because they gotta kill Sports Max Foo Fighter. Like he took a bite of my leg. He's my enemy now. And then yeah.
So yeah, interestingly, Sports Max dies, which I think it's very funny how he dies. Like
He drowns.
he literally just drowns in fucking like
Horrifying.
sewage.
I love that way he dies. He drowns in sewage, like in a fucking pipe where you can't get out. Like imagine being buried alive in sewage, just pouring in.
I would hate it. I'd be really really against dying that way.
Yeah, I fucking love Hermes. That's the way she killed him. I was like, oh, that's just fucking rad. I love Hermes.
It is cool that like her plan just works without a hitch.
Yeah.
Like,
But unfortunately, she goes down the Mista road of like, oh wow, I actually killed somebody right away. That's lucky for us. And like, no.
Yeah, it's like
you unfortunately countered the one guy with a death stand.
Yeah, and so interestingly, he does come back. I like the scene when he comes back because he doesn't quite understand.
They do the thing where
what's happening.
Well, they did the thing with like Kira in part 4 the
Yeah.
end, where like, oh yeah, I came back. I don't realize I'm dead. He like realizes like no one's hearing him.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't talk about was like he goes back to like the local prostitute, the prison prostitute,
Yeah,
who's dressed up as a stereotypical prostitute with like a hair loop and everything.
Yeah,
but her prostitute outfit has the prison logo on the back, which is fucking
It
hysterical.
is very fucking funny.
And he just like brings her to the fucking mausoleum where he like fucking like takes the money off of the dead guy who made her like think she touched him, like deep pants. I'm like, could it be like Hollow Man where he put his outfit on to like make it look like he literally just breaks his balls, like he goes bare balls out there with the prisoner
It's true.
and takes a bite out of her,
And then he makes her a zombie.
yes. And then he also just resurrects the entire mausoleum as well at some point. I love the wiki, like he visits his favorite prostitute. I like that detail.
The very funny line where he's like, I don't know what this bitch's name is. I guess I'll just call her bitch.
He is the inspiration for Shield Hero.
Literally.
But yeah, Sports Max finally remembered that he's dead because he's for spewing sewage. Because if he doesn't eat human brains, I guess he'll just spew sewage.
The part when he's like, yes, brains. I'm going for brains now. It's so stupid. And like, I don't like that all the zombies are just invisible. This scene feels like it'd be better if they weren't invisible.
Also, the image of all the actual like mausoleum zombies are very like cartoonish.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit.
It looks like a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card.
It does.
Like I'm pretty sure I've seen that card in Master Duel that I've played.
That's very funny.
but yeah, they're all in there. They're like, Hermes like, I gotta step up and get my revenge because revenge is the way to go for this. And she gets chomped like a motherfucker. But she does I do like the thing where she splits her head to try to like get like a punch on him. But also I do like Sportsman able to detach his head. I think that's kind of cool.
He's able to detach and retach it like so easily.
Actually using the zombie gimmick to do something like that.
Yeah, I guess that's one point for like why it's zombies.
It's the one use though.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make.
You can't say that Araki doesn't use it, but like ultimately why? Like why did it have to be this?
But also
way?
he consumes a bite of her head, and the thing stays into his head until he puts it. Like, it didn't go through his head like you think. Like, oh, like a zombie, it would just go through him. He just ate something detached completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes. I do like her like using like the sticker to put it back into her. I think that's a really cool way, and I really do like the beatdown. I think the beatdown's very.
It's so clever. The way that it uses like the ability of her stand, how it like makes the thing that gets stuck to like violently fly towards you, and using that as like a yo-yo effect essentially
Yes.
to punch him.
It's always good to bring somebody back into your punch barrage.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yes.
I really like this. There was actually these parts had some really good animation.
It's like something the hand would do, where it would just like cut the space and just bring you closer to beat the shit out of you. But yeah, and I love the music and the visuals and like that. And even like Hermes herself saying like, this is not like me punching, this is Gloria kicking your shit out of you right now.
Yeah, I really like that. The part when she like kicks his face and his like bones and teeth all split was pretty gory.
I love the
in a good way.
Like I said, it's a very good beatdown. It's probably up there as one of the top beatdowns. Like I said, it just like if his arc and like, oh yeah, this is my revenge, is like my whole arc is happening now kind of thing. Like I said, if they just teased up a little bit by bit, just add like stuff, because I feel like there's plenty of times they could have just like trickled it in for like a throwaway
easily.
line. And
just thinking about how much use Araki got out of Polnareff's sister,
yes,
like that comes up several times.
Yeah, even after he got revenge, it came back in the whole what's it called? Judgment? With the Judgment?
I think it's Judgment. The Hail to You.
Yeah, the genie.
Yeah,
and it's still like his arc is still continuing despite like he gets revenge.
It's a really good
and
way to bring
Enya
that
as
up.
well too. Like during like someone getting revenge on him for killing somebody like they love too. It's
and we really don't see the Hermes' backstory used as economically as Polnareff's is. Yeah. And that's probably why Polnareff's so beloved, because he's really, even though he gets his arc done early, technically, we get echoes of it as it goes on. Like it really is intertwined with the plot of
he has
part
more
3.
of a character arc than anybody in part 3, really.
It's true.
He is like the main character of part 3 of having his arc multiple times throughout there.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
he's also the funniest.
Also, everybody's a horrible friend to him. Remember? No one tells him about Abdal.
Yeah, they're pretty mean. It's amazing they told him about Kakyoin.
Yeah.
They could have just not told him about his eyes.
We gotta get back to that, 'cause I think where we left off was set in our podcast. Once we're done with like part of the batches and whatever our side series that we haven't started.
It's literally not even released yet. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the beatdown's really cool. They knocked the disc out of him, because I guess the disc stays. I guess it's the standability of the disc, and I guess it is physical because he can store them inside the tires. But I guess they're also just stand energy as well, because they can go into the visible stand of Limp Bizkit inside Sports Max.
It's like metaphysical.
And you get the glorious spirit coming down to hug Hermes. I would have been like, oh, Kiss is also Gloria or something.
There's a really funny moment reaction. I don't know if it's intended, but it seems like Jolene can see the spirit of Gloria hug Hermes.
No, that's a known thing. People have seen the ghost of others inside, like.
It's true, but it feels weird because she died so long ago in such a different area.
I'm pretty sure the point where Jotaro saw Joseph's ghost before he like forcibly put it back in there.
Yeah, but at least he was like, Joseph was physically there. Gloria died like years ago in a different location. Her corpse is not buried here. Why is her spirit just suddenly, like instantaneously, her spirit is there? It's just kind of funny.
I mean, as we learned from part 4, your ghost can literally just be there.
I guess so.
It can literally be a being that guards a hell alleyway.
I guess so. But so I guess your idea of it being Kiss is conceivable. It's just always there with her.
Yeah. But yeah, so they get the disc, but Jolene, Hermes is just like fucking, her head's caved in or split open, so and it's gonna take a little bit of more plankton to seal that shit up. It's just like putting glue. So
yeah.
There's a wrestler called Sabu who like got this like fucking horrible like wound in a wrestling match, and his saying like, oh, I gotta keep going back out there, so I'll just glue it shut with glue and go back out there. So it's just like that was plankton. Like, oh, we'll just glue it in there and it'll heal up on its own, not leave a horrible scar.
Well, they do have medical grade glue.
It's medical grade plankton. As we saw earlier in the episode, you just give Foo Fighters a giant bucket of water that you had lying around,
and she just immediately turns it into heels.
Yeah.
She's fucking Jesus.
Water equals plankton.
Turning water into fucking health kits.
Jesus, FF is Jesus, confirmed. But yeah, so here's the Ultra Security arc. Get ready to see this setting for the next 3 fights.
Yeah.
Are you ready for all these horrible, most likely rapists? As we've
they seem like they're probably mostly
rapists in this intergender prison.
Okay, this co-ed prison.
Prison. So yeah, and that's the end of that. This is also just like we said, very convoluted stand. There are some good things. I love the beatdown. I love Hermes, like, because I'm Hermes simp by default. Her boobs are drawn humongously throughout this entire arc, if you've noticed. They are drawn extremely large. But I gotta remember, that's just an inventory. Her boobs are a inventory system. It is just storage. So, but as I said, Kiss also got some really interesting like color palette swaps. I think I really like the blue Kiss. I think that was probably my favorite one. But like Kiss also just has a weird color scheme usually. Like every color scheme I feel they use is always really weird. Cause I don't like the default one. I think that one may be in the All-Star Battle R. I just don't like the yellow red one. Yeah. I like it when they match the outfit of the sand user a lot. Like I wish I like the color scheme for Jolene, but I also really like the blue and green one that she had in the
Oh yeah.
in like couple either colored or like some of the games had that one. I really like that one, but they don't
I like
use
the blue green as well.
I mean, I love when motif matches, but I guess like Crazy Diamond doesn't really do that. Tusk doesn't really do that for the most of the main ones they use.
Crazy Diamond's complementary.
Giorno is more so based off Dio's world, which that makes sense. But like, it's like when I played All-Star Battle R and seeing like Gappy has the orange scheme but has like the world colored soft and wet is really weird.
I don't like that.
But I feel like I don't know. I know it doesn't really do that often, but I like a good matching motif a lot of times, and I know it doesn't have like Bruno has it for Sticky Fingers, and it looks great.
Yeah, it does look really good.
Even though he had like the white and blue, but even in like the black and white one looks good with it.
Yeah, I like the white and blue version personally.
I like them both, but I can see it going either way. Like. But that's just a stupid nitpick. That doesn't really matter. It's just how colors the color theories of JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else to say about this?
Not really. It was fine. I didn't actively hate it.
Did you know the local prostitute name was Sharon according to the wiki?
Sharon. Her name is Bitch. Confirmed.
I click on her name and it goes to a female. Sharon, a female inmate making money as a prostitute. Format calls her a bitch, which is also in bold. but yeah.
Yeah, that's really it. I mean, I am, as I said, I'm not looking forward to these too much, so
Same.
I don't want to be super negative, but...
I said this plenty of time where, like, not my favorite arcs going forward. I don't... Part 6 is kind of my least favorite part, but, like...
It's certainly down
Like I said, the early part of Part 6, I like... The ending I like, but like in between there, I don't tend to like. And when we talk about Anasui, it's gonna be a lot to talk about there, which is coming up.
Also, I just really think that the I don't know what to call it. I guess the general art direction, I don't like it very much.
Yeah,
I really dislike the way the characters look.
I
don't like the way they move. I feel like they're too detailed for like their own detriment. There's too many like. There's I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. Especially, I always look at Foo Fighters' shoulders because we rarely see a character that has exposed shoulders in animated JoJo.
For a part that had
doesn't look very good.
I guess for a part that had a lot of like a female cat that had a lot of slim, a lot of them are very like I'd say like fucking Hermes had like a backpacks like shot.
Yeah, it's just I know, and I'm not saying that like this is the team. Like Araki draws weird humans.
Yes, as we've seen with Sports Max, like these are all Florida men and women.
Yeah, like Araki will be like very questionable with anatomy, but I think that times like this I just look at the screen and I just say I don't like what I'm looking at.
Dude, there's only one way to improve that, Jim. You know what that is?
Alcohol.
Gwess. Just have Gwess and we'll forget all of our worries will go away.
Yeah, Gwess actually does. I think her costume design just works so well.
It's very good.
That it doesn't give me the weird.
She is side character of like she's not like fucking bizarre enough looking to be a one-off villain, but she'll be a side character.
She's doomed to the middle path.
Just give us Gwess. She can solve all the problems. Going from here, if Gwess was part of Limp Bizkit, would it solve any problem?
Probably not.
I don't go forward where every fight, like, could Gwess solve this issue? Yes or no?
Yeah, that'll be the good test.
If Gwess was there,
that'll be
the Gwess test.
The Gwess test.
Yeah, got the Gwess test.
Well,
could Gwess shrink the zombies to not be a factor?
It's just like biting on like the end of your finger. Yeah, it's like a little nibble.
I can't get to the fucking brains with these tiny little mouth like I've been given.
But then it goes up your nose. That'd be creepy.
And then Gwess just steps on them and crushes them and splatters and wins.
Gwess has certainly committed homicide. She definitely killed some people inside that little bird costume.
It's probably the least worst. She murdered the guy that was in the costume before.
That's right, yeah, the mouse.
It's fine. It's like the least fucking...
Who knows the bird?
It's literal... Hermes just committed murder. Meditated murder. Premeditated murder. Like...
First degree.
They all have fucking killed somebody at this point. Jotaro has probably killed people at this point.
Well, Jotaro killed Dio, but he's not human.
But
so
most of the people he also gave like fucking horrible injuries. Jotaro is technically the one that punched Kira into the fucking ambulance. I guess you've murdered a serial killer. Congratulations.
He would at least have gotten an assist for that.
I feel like And fucking Josuke has give fates worse than death to Angela, who is also a serial killer, but still.
That is horrific what he did to Angela. That's unforgivable, honestly.
Like, most characters have committed murder, so, like, you're in a prison, like, what can these people that aren't just a rapist and a killer be, like, the worst crime? So, from here on, I will put us through the Gwes test of, if Gwes was here, could she solve these problems that we have? This is what we're doing for the second batch. So.
All right. Well, please end it.
What are we plugging? Are we plugging with Plankton?
Yeah, plug our wounds with Plankton.
So, thank you all. I'm sorry for a bit negative, but this is just the part of that a lot of people are negative about for part 6. But
well, I'm not sorry.
I'm
gonna
sorry.
be honest. That's my goal is to just be honest.
It hurts me from being a fan of Hermes, but hey, that's just gonna happen. Thank you all for listening. Again, put your comments, put your theories on the Gwes test. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Follow the podcast on Twitter or me or Jim separately, or you can join the Discord. And with that, we will see you next time where we start the Maxx of Security arc officially. I think it was Survivor, or we may. I don't know.
Is it? No, not Survivor. It's I forget the name for it because they had to change the name, but it's the meteor one.
Yes.
I forget what it's called.
It is.
It was called Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then someone was like, "Hey, Araki, you literally forgot that in part 4 you named Mititaka's stand Earth, Wind, and Fire."
Oh.
And then he said, "All right, in the volume editions, we're gonna change it to, is it Meteor something? I feel like it's." I kept wanting to say Jumpin' Jack Flash, and I know that is not true. I know it's not.
It's not Jumpin' Jack. We got that was the gravity.
I know that was that was the worst one. Oh my god, I wish I could remember it. Is it High something?
Survivor is first. So.
Okay. What is his though? It's called something High. It's like Meteor Sky High. No, that's later. That's Reikiel's. Oh my god, Sam, help!
Hold on.
Help!
I am using the power of the wiki. The wiki.
Oh my god, if I get it before you, I'm gonna fucking scream.
I'm doing
Earth, Wind, Fire stand. I'll get it before you.
Earth, Wind, and Fire stand.
Earth, Wind, and Fire stand. Come
on, you can do it.
Oh wait, that's a regular wiki that it took me to. No, it's taking me too long.
He's not after Dragon Dream.
I thought he was before.
Might be.
Oh my god, I fucking hate ads.
This is great podcasting. You do it.
Planet Waves.
There you go.
Planet Waves.
Planet Wave. There we go. You did it.
Which I believe his power is literally just making meteors hit you.
Yeah, it's a less cool version of the One Piece guy who has the power of that power.
I don't understand that ability.
Jim, it makes meteors fall out because meteors always land in Florida.
It's called meteorite attraction.
We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah.
Save your meteor theory in the Gwes test for that.
Damn, I'm just looking at like pictures of the manga and just thinking like it just looks so much better.
Hey, I wonder how they're gonna do the gore for Survivor, because like his face gets like ripped off like for like, most of the fight.
I forgot about that.
So
I just remember Survivor's the weakest stand. That's all I remember.
The weakest. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, we have to talk about that because we have to compare and contrast that when we get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
Plug.
We did the plugs.
All right. Goodbye.
See you next time.
See you next Earth, Wind, and Wednesday.
Let's end the fucking.